You know, I have a friend of mine who was in primary school with me, sitting right in front here. So I'm looking at him all the time and I'm feeling a bit guilty. I tell you what, when we were little, we weren't that naughty, but anyway, I remember doing a few things that perhaps he might not have liked. So imagine me coming up to him, hey, listen, hey, I'm sorry. Now, it's been 40 years, my brother. We did that when we were 8 years old. I look at him now, 40, hey, brother, I'm sorry. You know what? Hey, shucks, I don't know what I did. Please forgive me. He's going to say, hey, are you okay? That was 40 years ago. You see? But each time I remember him and I look at him and I talk to him, hey, I remember the days. What does it do? It increases the bond, doesn't it? It makes you closer, connected. Hey, we're looking at the days when we actually did a few things and we cleared the air, but I keep saying, hey, sorry, man. You know what? I feel so bad about it every time I think about it, right? With Allah Almighty, you say, oh Allah, I committed adultery, forgive me. Allah's forgiven you. The first time you ever said it, it's gone, wiped out in history. The next time you say it, two things happen. Number one, shaitan comes to you and makes you think that, you know what, you were not forgiven. Oh, watch out. It's his new trick. He came to you and made you do it, number one. Now that you came back to Allah, he wants to come to you and make you do something worse. What is worse? Worse is to doubt one of the qualities of your Maker, which is the most forgiving, the most merciful. When Allah says, oh my worshippers, never lose hope in my mercy. Here comes the devil, after you committed a sin and repented from it, and tells you that, you know what? Sorry, man, the mercy of Allah is not for you. Oh, he's come to you from a more dangerous door. Don't allow that. That's number one, that happens. I sought forgiveness, and shaitan comes to me and says, no, you're not forgiven actually. No way, I'm forgiven. I know I'm forgiven. I have a Lord who's most forgiving. What are you talking about, man? Number one. Number two is, when you seek the forgiveness of Allah again, the second time, it elevates your status and brings you closer to Allah. And you seek it again a third time. I am asking Allah forgiveness 100 times for the same sin, not because I am doubting the mercy of Allah. Not because I'm doubting whether I'm forgiven or not, but because I want to gain the closeness to Allah. Look at the example I gave you of a human being, which is a far lower example than that of Allah. You find it? So this is the message I have for you today. We had the disaster in Turkey and Syria. We've had disaster upon disaster. Something happened in Pakistan. Something happened in Afghanistan. A tsunami happened in Indonesia. Another quake happened in another area. People have suffered losses because of floods in so many countries, including some of the first world countries and so on. Is it a punishment or is it something else? The reality is, for every individual, it is different. It depends on you and your relationship with your Maker. If you've had a good relationship, well, Allah's taken you back to begin to enjoy the fruits of the hereafter. And if you've had a bad relationship with Allah and you've survived and it brought you closer to Allah, the biggest blessing that just happened was what happened. And if you've been forgetful of Allah and you've been driving yourself away and you've been defying your own Maker, then only Allah knows. We can't call that a gift. We can't call that anything else. We have to say perhaps for those type of people it was probably a punishment. But I'm no one to specify, you, punishment, you, it was goodness. For this one here, punishment. I don't know the hearts of the people. I'm not the owner of the hearts. I can generalize and say, my brothers, my sisters, generally this is what it is. And here is the messenger saying, whoever, in fact Allah is saying, punishment does not descend upon those while they are seeking forgiveness. Something happens. That's not punishment.